It was a bright and humid Saturday morning in Gwagwalada, a bustling town in the Federal Capital Territory of Abuja. The streets hummed with life, taxi horns blared, Okada riders weaved through traffic, and the aroma of fried yam and suya filled the air from the roadside vendors. Apostle Michael Orokpo, founder of Encounter Jesus Ministries International, was on his way to speak at a local youth revival summit scheduled at a large community field on the outskirts of the town. Inside his modest convoy, Apostle Orokpo sat quietly in the back of a navy blue Toyota Prado. He wore a simple white shirt and dark slacks, his well-used Bible resting on his lap. His lips moved in silent prayer, calm, intentional, intense. He had felt something heavy in his spirit that morning. Not fear, but a divine warning. Something unusual was going to happen. As the vehicles approached a junction near Old Katunku Market, the driver slowed suddenly. "Sir," the lead officer said, "there's a woman in the middle of the road. She's not moving." Curious, Apostle Orokpo looked up. Right there, in the heart of the street, was a woman. Dirty, disheveled, hair matted. She looked no more than 30, but life had beaten her into the form of someone older. She stood barefoot, holding a ragged piece of cloth, mumbling to herself, and pacing in small circles. Suddenly, she stopped. Her head jerked up. Her eyes, wild and fierce, locked directly onto the SUV carrying Apostle Orokpo. And then she screamed, "You! Stop there! You are a liar! You are a deceiver! You think you can pass me?" People gasped. Vendors paused. Some laughed nervously. Others began pulling out phones to record. The security team stepped out instantly. "Clear her," one officer shouted, trying to approach her. But the woman let out another scream, louder this time, and threw dust in their direction. The apostle, still seated, didn't flinch. He didn't panic. Instead, he opened the door and stepped out. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Everyone knew Apostle Michael Orokpo, the man known for firebrand preaching, deep revelations, and intense intimacy with the Holy Spirit. And now he was walking towards a madwoman. The woman stumbled backward. She suddenly pointed at him, trembling now. You came to me last night in my dream. You were on fire. Your eyes. I couldn't look into them. Why did you come back again?" The crowd stood still. This was no ordinary madness. This felt spiritual. Apostle Orokpo came closer, his face calm but his voice firm. "Who are you?" he asked softly. The woman's eyes darted around. Then, tears began to fall. "I don't know. I used to sing. I used to serve in the church. Then, everything went dark. I lost my mind. They said I was cursed. But you came to me in white. You told me, come back home." She collapsed to the ground, weeping like a child. The apostle knelt beside her. Right there, in the middle of a dusty Abuja street, he placed a gentle hand on her head and began to pray. Not with shouting, not with drama, but with authority. "Father, you are the restorer of broken minds. This one is yours. Every foul spirit of torment, depression, affliction. Let her go." The woman screamed. Her body convulsed. People in the crowd began to cry and pray. Some knelt. Others raised their hands in worship. This wasn't a scene from a movie. It was God, live on the street. A thick silence settled as the woman slowly calmed. Her eyes cleared. Her lips stopped trembling. She looked around, confused. "Where am I?" she asked, her voice suddenly clear. "What's happening?" Apostle Orokpo smiled gently. "You are free," he said. "Jesus has set you free." The crowd burst into shouts of praise. People dropped to their knees. Some ran to hug her, others just wept. And right there, in the middle of the road, a new life began. The apostle turned to his team. "Find her clean clothes. Take her to the mission house. Let her bathe, eat, and sleep. Let her rest." Then he looked at the crowd and said, "We are not only called to speak on altars. We are called to stop for the one that others walk past." The true power of the gospel is love. He didn't make it to the youth summit that day. It was rescheduled. Instead, Apostle Orokpo spent the rest of the afternoon at the roadside, praying with young men, blessing children, speaking with elders, and leading worship with strangers. 3 days later, a woman, glowing, transformed, and dressed in a soft yellow Ankara gown, stood at the altar of Encounter Jesus Ministries in Gwagwalada. She took the mic, and in a tearful voice said, "My name is Chioma Grace. I was a chorister. I love God. But after my fiancé died tragically, I broke. I stopped praying, and little by little, I lost my mind. For 7 years, I walked the streets of Abuja. But Jesus didn't forget me. She turned and looked at Apostle Orokpo, tears flowing. You came into my dream. Then you found me on the street. Thank you for stopping. The entire church wept. It wasn't just deliverance. It was restoration. Today, Chioma serves as a worship leader in that same church. She now runs a small outreach for mentally ill women, ministering to them with the same mercy that met her in the street. And that dusty junction in Guagualada? It's now called by many the point of return.